Welcome to our channel, Bravo News. McBee dynasty drama continues. Brooke Boldizs shares life-changing news after split. The calm before the storm. The Missouri skies were heavy with a late summer hush, but inside McBee Farms, tension was anything but quiet. The sprawling 3,000-acre property had been the heart of the McBee dynasty for decades, and lately every corner whispered a story: betrayal, heartbreak, and endless power struggles. In the middle of it all stood Stephen McBee Sr., the powerful patriarch whose life-than-larger-than-life personality had made him the star of the show and whose love life had been as messy as the business empire he ruled. But this wasn't about Stephen anymore. It was about Brooke Boldizs. Stephen Sr.'s former partner had spent years quietly existing in his shadow, raising her son and staying away from the chaos that constantly surrounded the McBee name. But now, Brooke had surfaced with a shocking announcement, one that would send waves of speculation, heartbreak, and rage across the entire dynasty. Late one Friday night, Brooke posted a cryptic Instagram caption under a photo of her standing by a scenic river. Quote, "Sometimes you have to lose everything to find yourself. New beginnings, here I come." Unquote. Within minutes, fan pages exploded. Was she engaged, moving, pregnant, leaving the country? And most importantly, how would Stephen Sr. react? Brooke's silence breaks. For months, Brooke avoided interviews, podcasts, and any direct conversations with the McBee production team. But when she finally agreed to sit down with Bravo's digital exclusive for an unscripted interview, no one expected what came next. Sitting across from the host, her blonde hair framing her face softly, Brooke seemed calm, almost too calm. "I've been silent for long enough," she began, her voice steady, "but people deserve to know the truth about what really happened between me and Stephen, and why my life is about to change forever." The studio audience sat frozen. Even behind the cameras, producers glanced nervously at each other. She leaned forward, lowering her voice. "I'm leaving Missouri. I'm leaving everything. The farm, the drama, and yes, even the past behind me." The host raised an eyebrow. "So this is goodbye to McBee Farms?" Brooke nodded, tears glimmering in her eyes. "I've bought a home in Austin, Texas. I'm starting a new business, and I'm ready to tell the world about my next chapter." But before she could continue, the host leaned in and asked the question on everyone's mind. "And Stephen Sr., where does he fit into this?" Brooke gave a soft, bitter laugh. "He doesn't. Not anymore." Stephen Sr. explodes. When the interview aired, Stephen Sr. was furious. Sitting in his farmhouse office, his phone lit up with text after text from family, friends, and fans tagging him in Brooke's big reveal. "Leaving Missouri? Starting a business in Texas?" he roared, slamming his whiskey glass on the disc. "After everything I've done for her." Inside sources from the production team later revealed that Stephen spent hours calling his sons, Stephen Jr., Jesse, and Cole, demanding answers. But what bothered him the most wasn't the move. It was Brooke's silence about their past. Stephen Sr. had long believed their breakup was temporary, that Brooke would eventually come to her senses and return. But now, this interview made it painfully clear she was done with him for good. By nightfall, Stephen took to Instagram with a cryptic post of his own. Quote, "Funny how people chase greener pastures when they forget who built the fence." Unquote. Fans immediately interpreted it as a direct jab at Brooke, and within hours, McBee Dynasty Facebook groups were flooded with speculation, theories, and wild accusations. The sons take sides. The tension didn't just divide Stephen and Brooke, it tore at the McBee family itself. Stephen Jr., always the diplomat, reached out to Brooke privately. Quote, "I just want you to be happy," he texted her. "If Austin is where you find peace, you have my blessing." But Jesse, ever loyal to his father, wasn't so forgiving. On an Instagram Live, Jesse bluntly told fans, quote, "Brooke wouldn't even have the platform she has if it weren't for this family. She should be grateful instead of trashing us on TV." Unquote. Meanwhile, Cole, the most unpredictable of the McBee sons, shocked everyone by siding with Brooke. In a confessional interview, he admitted, quote, "She's been through hell with Dad. If she wants out, I respect it. But I also think there's more to her story than she's letting on." Unquote. And Cole was right. The secret behind Brooke's move. 2 weeks after Brooke's emotional interview, a bombshell leaked from a production insider. Brooke wasn't just moving to Texas to start fresh. She was launching a luxury wellness retreat with a mystery investor. Fans immediately started connecting dots, digging through property records and business filings. It didn't take long before a shocking revelation surfaced. The investor funding Brooke's business was none other than Blake Radcliffe, a wealthy entrepreneur rumored to be Brooke's new boyfriend. Photos quickly circulated online showing Brooke and Blake having dinner at a chic Austin rooftop bar. Brooke's hand rested lightly on his, and fans spotted what looked suspiciously like a diamond ring on her left hand. Was Brooke engaged? Was this the real reason she left Stephen Sr.? The family reacts. When Stephen Sr. heard about Blake, it sent him into an emotional spiral. Friends reported that he spent days locked in his office refusing calls and skipping production shoots. Jesse, on the other hand, went on a full-blown Instagram rant. Quote, "So now we know the truth? Brooke didn't leave to find herself. She left because she found someone else. Classy." Unquote. Meanwhile, fans were divided. Some applauded Brooke for finally breaking free from Stephen's controlling ways, while others accused her of betrayal. But the drama didn't stop there. Brooke, feeling the heat, finally addressed the rumors in a fiery Instagram live session. Quote, "I owe no one an explanation about my personal life. Stephen and I have been over for a long time. If I choose happiness, that's my right." The comments section exploded, with thousands of McBee Dynasty fans battling in real time. The unexpected twist. Just when fans thought they had the story figured out, Brooke dropped another bombshell during a sit-down podcast interview. Quote, "I didn't just leave because of Stephen," she said, her voice shaking. "I left because I discovered something about McBee Farms, something I couldn't ignore anymore." The host leaned forward, eyes wide. "What did you find out?" Brooke hesitated, clearly torn, before finally whispering, "Let's just say the farm isn't what everyone thinks it is." Unquote. That one cryptic statement sent shockwaves through the fandom. Rumors swirled about hidden debts, secret investors, and possible lawsuits. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Brooke's love life. It was about the future of the McBee dynasty itself. Cliffhanger ending. As cameras rolled for the new season of McBee Dynasty, producers teased a jaw-dropping finale. Brooke's new Texas life, Stephen Sr.'s emotional breakdown, family divisions reaching their peak, a shocking revelation about McBee Farms' finances. In the final scene of the teaser, Brooke stares straight into the camera, her voice trembling. "They wanted me to stay quiet, but I won't. Not anymore." And just like that, the screen faded to black. A new life, a new love. The Texas sun was unforgiving as Brooke Boldizs stepped out onto the balcony of her brand new penthouse overlooking downtown Austin. From the 23rd floor, she could see everything. The skyline glittered, the hum of nightlife below, and most importantly, the future she was finally carving out for herself. It had been 6 weeks since she officially left Missouri, and while whispers about her relationship with Blake Radcliffe refused to die down, Brooke had chosen silence. But silence had its cost. The McBee fan base had practically split in two. Team Stephen Sr., who saw Brooke's departure as betrayal. Team Brooke, who viewed her as a survivor, finally breaking free from a toxic environment. Her phone buzzed nonstop, her DMs flooded with thousands of questions. Some begged her to return to Missouri, others called her a gold digger, and hundreds wanted to know one thing. Are you engaged to Blake Radcliffe? For now, Brooke wasn't answering. But inside her penthouse, the answer sat on the marble countertop. a 3.5-carat diamond ring Blake had given her just 2 nights ago. She hadn't said yes. Not yet. Because something in her gut told her this wasn't just about love anymore. There was something bigger, something she needed to deal with before she could truly move on. Stephen Sr.'s retaliation. Back in Gallatin, Missouri, Stephen McBee Sr. was unraveling. Since Brooke's departure, he'd thrown himself deeper into work, pouring millions into expanding McBee Farms. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Rumors of financial strain started circulating among employees, and several longtime ranch fans had suddenly quit without explanation. To make matters worse, Stephen couldn't escape Brooke's name. The gossip sites wouldn't leave it alone. Blogs speculated about her alleged engagement. TikTok sleuths posted drone footage of her Austin property, and McBee Dynasty fan accounts kept tagging him incessantly.
Finally, Stephen snapped. In a heated production meeting, he slammed his fists on the conference table and growled, "If Brooke wants war, she's going to get one." Producers begged him to stay composed, but Stephen wasn't listening. That very night, he posted a now-deleted Instagram story. "You can leave a farm, but you can't outrun the truth." Fans immediately went wild, interpreting it as a direct threat against Brooke. Within hours, #Team Brooke and #Team Stephen were trending simultaneously. The Blake problem. While Brooke was trying to focus on her wellness retreat launch in Austin, Blake Radcliffe was becoming a bigger problem than she expected. At first, Blake seemed perfect, wealthy, charming, and fully supportive of her independence. He even invested $2.5 million into her retreat project, securing an 80-acre property on the outskirts of Austin for an exclusive escape designed for high-end clientele. But then the rumors started. Brooke's assistant, Jenna, showed her a screenshot from a fan page. "Did you know Blake was sued in 2022 for investment fraud?" At first, she laughed it off, thinking it was another fabrication from McBee haters, but when she asked Blake directly, he hesitated. That was the first time she saw the cracks in his polished persona. "It was a misunderstanding," he said quickly. "All handled. Nothing for you to worry about." But Brooke wasn't convinced. That night, she couldn't sleep. Her gut screamed that Blake was hiding something big. And if she wasn't careful, she might be walking into another Stephen Sr. level mess. The secret ledger. 2 days later, Brooke received a confidential email from an anonymous source connected to McBee Farms. The subject line read, "You left at the right time, but you need to see this." Attached was a scanned image of a ledger, seemingly pulled from McBee Farms' internal financial records. Numbers upon numbers of unexplained operational expenses were listed, some upwards of $750,000, with cryptic notes like Texas Expansion Fund and Private Settlement. Her heart pounded. If this was real, Stephen Sr. was hiding massive financial secrets, possibly illegal ones, and somehow her name was tied to one of the accounts. She called the number attached to the email. A man answered in a hushed voice. "Brooke, you don't know me, but I worked on the accounting team. Stephen Sr. has been moving money offshore for years. If you stay quiet, you're fine, but if you expose him, you need to prepare for war." Her hands trembled as she hung up the phone. This was bigger than a breakup, bigger than Blake, bigger than Austin. This was a ticking bomb. The showdown. 3 weeks later, Brava producers orchestrated the moment everyone had been waiting for, Brooke and Stephen Sr.'s first face-to-face confrontation since the split. The scene was set at a neutral filming location in Kansas City, a chic rooftop bar with city lights glowing in the background. Cameras rolled as Brooke arrived, dressed in a sleek black jumpsuit, her shoulders squared, her confidence radiating. Stephen Sr. was already there, drink in hand, jaw tight. The tension was so thick, producers whispered they could feel the air vibrating. Stephen leaned forward, voice low and sharp. "So this is it, huh? You run off to Texas, take my name through the mud, and now you're building your empire on my back?" Brooke didn't flinch. "You're back? Stephen, you controlled me for years. You broke me down. Now I'm finally standing on my own, and you can't handle it." Stephen's face reddened. "Be careful, Brooke. You're playing with fire." Without missing a beat, Brooke pulled out a printed copy of the ledger and slid it across the table. "No, Stephen, you are." His expression froze. For the first time, Stephen Sr. looked scared. Just as Brooke stood to leave, Stephen muttered something under his breath, but the microphones caught it. "You think you know everything, Brooke, but you have no idea who Blake really is." She froze mid-step, turning back sharply. "What do you mean?" Stephen smirked darkly. "Ask your boyfriend about Austin Ridge Holdings. Then call me." The camera zoomed in on Brooke's shocked expression. Her perfectly constructed new life was unraveling before her eyes. And just like that, Bravo producers ended the episode, fading to black with a teaser. Next week, Brooke confronts Blake and uncovers the truth that changes everything.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates.